My wife is cheating on me after 16 years together with a millionaire guy, but after I handed her the divorce papers, she realizes her lover didn't love her as much as she thought. I am so devastated at this moment, I don't even know where to start. This is a long story. The only reason why I found this subreddit is because this has been stuck in my head all day and I have not been able to talk to anyone about it. Please, be kind. So, I have been married for 16 and a half years with my wife since I was 21 years old. We have had ups and downs. When I met her, she was the kindest woman I had ever met. I literally told her that I was going to be my wife 2 minutes after meeting her. We have 2 children who are my whole world. After our second child, she began to distance herself, to get depressed and to change. I thought she was dealing with depression, but she refused to investigate it. I wanted couple therapy, but this was during the recession and I worked in 4 jobs and a secondary business, just to get to the next month. I couldn't afford another $50 a week, especially when she didn't want to talk to me. I asked her what was wrong with her and she always said, I don't know. She had good weeks and bad weeks. Sometimes she was great, others, she was rude and disrespectful. Once we recovered, I begged her to go to therapy with me. Eventually, she said yes, but I don't think she would like it. We went to a woman and at first she told her the same as me, I can't work with I don't know. Then, my wife said she needed more help at home. Well, this was in 2015. Since then, I have worked in 3 jobs, vacuumed the house, emptied the dishwasher and the sink daily, helped with the clothes, took out the garbage and tidied the house. Things were fine for a while, then she became rude again. This time, she started to scold my daughter a lot. Finally, I took her aside and told her that I would never divorce. I would try to work and improve our marriage as long as necessary. But I think that because my daughter is so similar to me, she discharged her poison on her, and I can't allow that. So if she wanted the divorce, we would do that. The next day, she said she wanted to try it and for a few years, things were fine. She even went to a doctor and they prescribed him an antidepressant, but she insisted on the lowest dose. We advanced until 2020, when she returned to rudeness and lack of respect, but worse, there was total contempt in his voice when she spoke to me, and a look of disgust every time she appeared. It hurt. Sex was never a problem between us and we both seemed to enjoy each other a lot. But when she entered these states of mind, she refused. I was never unfaithful to him, although as a bartender, I had many offers. At one point, my sister told me that she simply assumed that I had been unfaithful to him, because she knew that my wife had not been willing for a long time. I told her that I would never do that. So now we are here. Last month, after a wedding, we were in a hotel and I was expecting some intimacy when she told me directly, I don't love you. I think we should get a divorce. We agreed to do it, but we would wait until after the parties, for the children. She fell asleep. 10 minutes later, I lay in bed with tears sprouting from my eyes for 3 hours. I thought it was going to be the most intense pain I would ever feel. Then today is. A week ago, I had to go to a softball team party for my daughter at midnight. I was not at home, so I checked our Live 360 application and I was in a pelvis. Strange, but I thought she had met his friend to have a drink later. The funny thing is that she was there until 1 o'clock, but they closed at 12. I asked him where she went, and she said that there is a bar with the party people. She never mentioned Applebee's, which was strange. 2 days later, she said that his boss told him that she had to put a password on his phone through the work emails. Now I was suspecting. Today his mother called and asked if she could help her husband move a carpet. So I went to help. When I finished, I was standing outside and looked at the Live 360 application to see if she had left work. Yes, she did. So I decided to try something. My wife has the bad habit of needing to talk on the phone when she drives. So I called her. It was short and she said she had to go because she was talking to his mom, who was right in front of me. Okay, I went home. When she got there, I asked him how his mom was doing. While I told him that I had seen her today, she said no and asked where I saw her. I said at his house when I called you. His face fell. She tried some mediocre excuses, but she finally admitted that she had been seeing someone for a few months. So before we agreed to the divorce, she was in shock. 10 minutes later, she acted as if nothing had happened. I don't know if it was to not alert the children or because she just doesn't care that she has destroyed me, but I suspect the second. I couldn't even talk to anyone about it, since we kept it a secret that we agreed to divorce so that no one would leak it to my children. And we had to go to a Christmas village tonight, so we were out all night. My children knew that something was wrong with me, but they just thought I was in a bad mood. Literally, my son said, "It sounds like you're hurt. I just don't know what I'm going to do." The perspective of the divorce was already stressful enough, and I have lost 9 kilos in the last month without even trying. Just thinking about how we can do this without losing my house. I have spent the last 15 years paying $10,000 in credit card debts, $155,000 in student loans and a $45,000 car. Now I'm going to owe him at least $40,000 for the house. It's going to be painful, but I think I can do it. Finally, I was starting to mentally prepare for the divorce. And then this betrayal hit me like a sack of bricks. In the last month, it has hurt me more than I thought possible. I don't even recognize the woman I married. I don't even know what to do. My daughter will be devastated when we tell her that we are separating. But I don't even know if I should tell her this because I don't want her to hate her mom. I am lost, confused, stressed, beyond what I can stand, and desolate. And I look at my wife, and it seems that she cares about a way. Thanks for listening. I don't even know if what I wrote is allowed or if it is too off topic, but anyway, thanks because it was very therapeutic to simply write it and take it out of my chest. Even if I'm writing this with more tears running down my face. Thanks, guys. Update 1. It's been 3 months since my initial publication, and it's been a pretty intense trip. Please excuse the length of this message. I received a lot of advice in my initial publication. Look at my history of publications to see the original story. But I decided to follow my instinct on how to proceed, and it's going well. It's not over yet, as expected, considering that only a few months have passed. So, a week after my publication, I discovered the name of the guy when she was sending a message on Facebook on her computer. Apparently, that's her only way of communicating, most likely because he's married with 3 children. He is also a doctor and rich. That was a real blow for a guy who works in 3 jobs to survive. At Christmas, I discovered that I had told his entire family that we were getting divorced, along with my sister and the wives of my cousins. Meanwhile, I had not yet told anyone because I was afraid that my children would arrive before the holidays were over. His mother was not happy. She thought she was making the biggest mistake of her life, like my sister and her best friend. She didn't care. He also omitted the part about his infidelity, of course. I couldn't talk to Mom at Christmas because she was already starting to cry and I didn't want to alert my children. So I scheduled to talk to her a few days later. The next day, my wife and I sat down and talked. I told her that I didn't want her to see the guy again until everything was over. She was disrespectful. She agreed. Then we discussed how to divide things. I think I did it well, without food pension, without child support, custody 50 and 50. We both provide clothes for the children. Everything else is divided equally. I stay with the house. I have to pay her $43,000 in equity. In the end, she left with about $40,000. She owes her father $110,000. She has a credit score of 800 and 0 debts, all thanks to me. When I finally went to talk to her mother, I discovered that when she found out that we were going to talk, she confessed the truth. Originally, she lied about infidelity when her mother asked, then she told her the truth. After that, my mother-in-law was furious and really scolded her. Then she cried telling me that she was afraid that I would eliminate her from my life. Something that I assured her would never happen. Let's move on to mid-January. Now I have lost 18 kilos. I go to the gym every day to relieve stress. Now we have to tell my children. I told her that I would not lie to my children, but I would not betray her either. I told her that if they asked, try to divert the conversation in some way. She said she felt the same. The thing is that she knew that this would not fly with my daughter. It is like a clone of me at 14 years old. It can detect nonsense from kilometers away. And that was what happened. Before we said anything, my daughter asked if we were getting divorced. When we sat down, my wife said yes, and my children broke down, many tears. I saw them cry, and I started crying. Then my wife made a big mistake. She said, "Listen, we both want this." And that was when my daughter attacked her with everything she had. She shouted, "That's nonsense. My father would never want this. You want it. Look at him, he's crying. I've never seen him cry in my life. This is your thing." Then she asked if my wife was being unfaithful to me. My wife tried to change the subject, but she did not accept it. She interrogated her while screaming, "Tell me the truth," over and over again until my wife confessed. After that, it was as if I could see his brain working. He began to signal each alarm signal over and over again, and managed for my wife to confess it in 3 minutes. She got more out of her than I had achieved in a month. Then, I talked to my children alone. My son is 12 years old, and he just needed to make sure that things were going to be fine and would change as little as possible. Although now I see that he fears when things are finally resolved. My daughter told me that she was crying for me, not for her, because of how hurt she must be. I comforted her and made her feel better. Then she asked me to make her a promise, because I have never broken a promise to my children. He asked me to promise that yes, when all this is over, if my wife loses her new home and needs a place to stay for a while, I will let her stay here. With all these things happening, and she could have asked for anything, and she veiled for her mother. I couldn't say no. When she spoke to his mother, she asked her to promise to stop talking to the boy. She broke that promise after 2 weeks. Since then, she has been hiding again and I see him for periods of half an hour in places like Target. I discovered her over and over again. We had a great confrontation. Again, she agreed to stop seeing him, although she still talks to him. Apparently, now she has feelings for him. As I said, she can't fool my daughter. So eventually, she will know that she broke that promise. I am in the process of refinancing my house, and she is looking for a house of her own. Her rich aunt is being her guarantor, so I hope she finds something soon. There is also another thing, and I know that this is going to be controversial in this subreddit. Yes, I have proof, and yes, now I know everything about this boy. But I have decided not to tell his wife. I am not proud to say it, but my reasons are completely selfish and for my own interest. The reality is that if I tell him, they will divorce, and then, when my wife leaves, she has a ready relationship waiting for her, a rich guy who, even after the divorce, will continue to be rich, taking her on expensive dates and pleasant vacations, helping her with her accounts, etc. While I struggle, no matter how much I want to hurt this guy, I want to hurt her more. When she leaves, his stealthy behavior will be over, but not his. They will not be able to go on dates. She will see that it is a hobby. They will only be able to meet at his house, and he will have to leave as soon as he finishes. He will not give her money because he could alert his wife. And now that she is feeling something for him, he will see if he is going to leave his wife and family for her. I bet he doesn't, but if he does, it's fine. But he will be the one who has the courage to do it. I'm not going to do his dirty job for him. That's what happened to his rich aunt. He slept with a married man, the wife found out and left. And she moved immediately. She went from being a single mother to a ruined millionaire. That could happen to my wife, but I'm not going to help it happen. Thanks for reading. I still read this subreddit all the time, and it has been extremely therapeutic. And please, try to be kind. I know that not everyone will agree with everything in this post. Just try to understand that every situation is different. Thanks. Update 2. Here is an update. If you review my history of publications, you will see what happened. I discovered that my wife was cheating on me after almost 17 years of marriage. So, the divorce ended last August. I promised my children that their lives would change as little as possible, and I have kept that promise. In August, we ended the divorce. She was looking for houses while she was still living here. It was exceeded in 16 offers. I found a house near the corner where we live that she loved. I spoke to the owner and basically he agreed without accepting any other offer. She would never have gotten the house without me, which makes me feel good, since my children are now never more than 30 seconds away from me. Our divorce agreement worked very well for me, without food pension, without child support, shared custody. I stayed with the house and she got the equity. I was able to refinance before the interest rates skyrocketed. In the next few months, I basically redecorated my house after dividing the furniture. I changed some things, I changed photos, I focused on that, and my children remained positive. I kept going to the gym and working. It has been good. I have been kind to her throughout the process, which reassured my children and helped them get used to everything. He even came to Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve at my sister's house. People think I'm crazy, but I let go of the grudge and helped my children celebrate the holidays normally, and that makes me happy. Financially, it has gone very well for me. Although I am not sure, I think she is having difficulties. It was never the best way to budget money. We are supposed to divide everything the children need outside of food and clothes, but I end up paying more than I should, which does not bother me because I know it is for my children. In December, I met a beautiful and wonderful woman. She lives a few hours away and is divorced with 2 children. Due to the curfew, we only see each other a few times a month. But it is incredible and it really makes me happy. I don't know what my ex's love life is like. I don't know if she still sees the boy or not. I know she has dates with other people, but I don't ask about it. I know that one night she went out with a boy 3 weeks after moving in, and she was attacked by 4 girls and they beat her a lot, which, I'm not going to lie, made me laugh. As for the boy she was cheating on me with, well, we have some friends in common to whom I told them. A couple, friends of his, saw him with his family at an event and started a conversation in front of them, where they mentioned my name and that I found out that my wife was cheating on me. They said that he knew who the boy was, but that he had not done anything yet. Then they began to say things like, "Man, if you decide to go after him, you will not find the body of the guy for 50 years, and things like that. Just laughing and seeing how he sweat without letting them understand that they knew it was him. I don't think my ex ever told him that he knew about the romance, so that was probably a pleasant surprise for him. I'm sure I'll find it eventually. I'm not sure how that will develop, but I'm not going to go out looking for it. So, basically, 16 months after the day of, I have a new girlfriend. An excellent relationship with my children, a happy work life. I am in excellent physical shape and financially I am doing very well. I don't think things could have turned out better for me. So, if someone who is going through this now needs some advice, this is what I would say. Keep a positive attitude. Don't let resentment and negative feelings take control of your life. If you don't have a lot of money, try to sit down and negotiate an agreement with your spouse without lawyers. In this way, you will really have some money to get ahead. If you have children, try to maintain a friendly relationship with your spouse. I know how difficult it is, but you do it for your children, not for them. Exercising is an excellent way to release stress. Find a gym and start going. It will help your mental health as much as your physical health. Remember that each situation is different. Find the path that works best for your situation. When they have gone, remember that they have gone, they will not return with you, and if they do, it is probably not in your best interest. Trust has gone forever, so keep going and find someone who deserves you. If you are not the type of person who frequently meets people in the world, try an appointment application like Bumble. They work. I know that this update is not as satisfactory as some in this sub would like, but it has really gone well for me and my children, and that is all I really wanted. So, yes, now I am much happier than I was after that first post, and I think that is the final goal of this sub. Thanks for all the kind words and support, it has helped a lot.